Welcome to All the Gear But No Idea, the South Australian fishing podcast hosted by Rhodey and Diz. The boys will share their tall tales of the one that got away, as well as some regular segments they know all you fishing tragics will enjoy.
G'day and welcome to All the Gear But No Idea, the South Australian Fishing Podcast, episode 129. Dizzy, welcome.
Good to be here with you, mate. Very good indeed. We've got a big guest. We are certainly having a great chat in today's episode with Matt Durell from IkiPik.
He is.
Southwest Skeletal.
Over from WA, mate.
Yeah, the West, and we can't wait to have a chat with him. But let's get into oranges and lemons, Rhodey, because you're looking quite chipper, but I didn't expect it.
Oh, mate, I've had plenty of sleep, if that's what you're asking.
Wowee. Even after the
baby has arrived.
Wow.
So baby Riley, a boy for our second child. So I probably have to put that down as my orange, don't I, Diz? I know this is a fishing podcast, but...
Yeah, no, that probably takes the cake. I think in a non-fishing week, that takes the cake.
Yeah. Probably so far all he's done is cost me fishing, but no, he hasn't really. He's been all right. He's been good, Diz, and mum and baby are healthy. So that's probably, the main stuff.
Yes, it is. Happy days and well done to you, mate. I'll roll that into my orange, and it is the great man Alex Carey tunning up.
Oh, it did just ton up. 150.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's exactly right. It was beyond 100. It was excellent. And I must say, some of your social media work there, mate, capturing that ton on the socials was good.
And I don't know whether everyone at home thinks I filmed like 100 balls. I literally just filmed that one. He hit the 4, got the 100, and I said, thank you very much.
How good. It was almost like you were telepathically connecting with Carey out there in the middle.
Mate, you've seen me play cricket. I just knew that the pus they were bowling, he was going to put one away. I was reading them like a book, those Sri Lankan spinners.
Yeah, good call. All right, I'll roll that into my lemon, which is people were having a crack at us about the flatheads being too small on that filleting video. Like, grow up.
Mate, it's a small size limit.
I know, 30 centimetres for
They don't have to
flatty.
be very big.
And... look, I think we talked about it. I'm sure that we would have talked about it on the podcast, but we're onto a bit of a honey hole of small flatties. Like, we would have probably thrown, what do you reckon, 3 or 4 back? Couple decent size, probably 35s.
But a lot of them were 31.
A lot of them would tick over 30. So, yeah, basically to all you keyboard warriors, well done in making the lemon this week, you bunch of flogs.
Whack.
What's your lemon, big guy?
Dizzy, I've got a couple of weeks off work to welcome the baby and, help baby settle in and drive Lucy around after a cesarean and all that sort of gear. But I did have my eyes on a bit of fishing and that hasn't happened yet.
It's been windy. Yesterday we almost melted.
The last 2 days have been hot.
But it was an absolute glass off yesterday.
Was it? Well, I went down the beach for a run this morning. When I was in between parenting, obviously. And, my God, it was choppy today.
Yeah, it blew up. I reckon that change must have come in overnight at some point. But, yeah, I flew in last night. Flying over, mate, it was flat.
Where you been? You been travelling?
Yes, I was in Canberra, so that was good. Let's not waste too much time on that. This is a fishing podcast. Let's get into our merch, Rhodey. And a bit of an update, not only on what you can get on the merch and how you can get yourself a prize. Of course, we love it when people send in photos and we give out lovely prizes all the time. But, Rhodey, what's been making the highlights on the social media threads?
Dizzy, that flathead video you were talking about, that's gone, I'd say, pretty viral.
Yeah.
It's got some really good traction.
Somehow it sort of just cracked into the algorithm.
It's funny how they just get in, and I think it is the negative comments. I said that on the whiting photo that we put up.
Yeah, I think Zuckers basically just goes, if people start attacking this post, let's just send it viral and get all the keyboard trolls out there.
Yeah, so basically the keyboard warriors are our best friends. They're getting us our most traction.
Yeah. And look, they can get stuffed, really.
So that's probably been our best post in the last couple of weeks, hasn't it, Diz?
Yeah, well done, mate. We love that. Let's keep moving from there and let's get ourselves into the news.
Rhodey and Diz have been searching far and wide to bring you the latest news across all fishing in the state, and will give you the rundown on what you need to know.
I'll tell you what you need to know here first, and that is that you need to pull out the diary and reschedule the John Johnson Memorial Trophy for the Warina Tuna Slam. That has been rescheduled due to weather.
It has, Diz.
So it's no longer... I'm plucking out numbers here, but I'm going to say 15, 16 because tomorrow's...
Yes, it was.
And it's
that was the original plan,
to
yes.
22, 23.
And I think they've extended the date that you can enter.
Yes.
Until next week, I believe.
Next Wednesday or Friday?
I think it was the Friday.
Yeah. Love that. Let's hope that the forecast is looking good for that weekend. It's always a great comp. There's some seriously good prizes. Seriously good prizes.
Those Shimano reels are bloody
Stellas.
good. And cash prizes too. I think $3,000. Would that be loose?
Yeah, and you know what? I was going to say, because, of course, everyone would know, and we've covered this before, is the Coast to Coast isn't going ahead this year.
No, but did you see actually what did pop up on my Facebook? I don't know whether you saw this one, Dizzy, the Encounter Bay Football Club.
No.
I don't know whether you saw this. They put a post up a couple of weeks ago. It sort of got a bit of traction on their Facebook page, running the South Coast Fishing Competition.
Same weekend now.
Yes, that's
It's a
what I was about
clash.
to say. So that was originally scheduled for February 22, 23, which would have worked well with the Warina comp, but now they're on the same weekend. So it'll be interesting whether anything changes there, Diz. They had, this is the first year they've run it, and they're obviously trying to take the place of the Coast to Coast. For a first year competition, they had plenty of sponsors.
Yeah, they did.
I hadn't
couple of good ones there.
Seen any definitive prizes or anything like that, any rules. It was sort of just to save the date. That was going to be in a couple of weeks, but we'll keep an eye out to what happens to that, whether they change the date now that the Warina one swapped.
Cash prizes and giveaways. Watch that news closely. Love that from you, Rhodey. Well done, mate. What else have we got in the news?
Dizzy, I don't know whether you saw this one, but there was a fisheries boat with 3 people aboard overturned during an at-sea inspection near Port Lincoln on Sunday.
Okay.
So a spokesman for PIRSA has came out and said that the federal and state officers were planning to board a commercial tuna vessel northwest of Thistle Island near Port Lincoln when their boat Remora capsized on Sunday. All staff were unhurt and made it back to a larger PIRSA vessel called the Southern Ranger, which is that big one we've seen out in the water before, Diz.
Yep.
And there's a number of people saying that maybe that shouldn't happen anymore, and questioning whether that should be a thing, that they take the little tender boats out in the middle of the ocean to get on board other boats.
Yeah. It's a fair call. I'm probably not in the field enough to make a definitive judgment on that, but you don't like to see it. Let's put it that way.
And I believe it was the Tacoma, Diz.
Yes, it was.
I believe.
did see that now you mentioned the Tacoma.
So Ross Haldane, the captain of the tuna vessel, the Tacoma, said boarding at sea was a risky activity. He said he was skipper on the day. He asked Southern Ranger officers if he needed to slow down and was advised to maintain his speed of 7.6 to 7.8 knots. And in their boarding process, the vessel became entangled with ours. And unfortunately, their vessel was capsized during the process. They came along us at full speed and their bow got caught with our sponson and a bit of timber alongside the boat, and the boat was swamped and capsized. Could have been pretty hairy, to be fair.
Yeah, well, I mean, just hearing that now, mate, that sounds hairy.
Oh, and one of the officers had already jumped onto the Tacoma, and then the other 3 went over.
No, goodness me. No
wow.
good.
So that could have been pretty hairy.
Yep, it certainly sounds hairy.
Like out in those waters far off Port Lincoln.
Yeah, I think we've got to learn from that, haven't we?
It seems like the next step is that either you don't board vessels in a little tinny or you make them stop. How, like, in the scheme of things, like a big boat like that, is it a massive deal for them to stop for 10 minutes to let a little boat on to check?
Yeah, I just wonder that sometimes, depending on the sea, that stopping actually isn't.
Yeah, that's fair too.
Actually as easy as it might sound. So I think on that note, given that we've probably just highlighted we're no experts, that we will give no expert commentary on that.
Yeah, it's fair too.
And let's move right along because we now have a bit of an update on the boating safety strategy.
This is another one of these things where it's a 26-page document. I'm probably not going to run you through every little detail. I can if you want.
We talked to the guys about this when we had them on the show.
From Marine Safety. Yeah, that was just before Christmas, I think.
Yeah, it was. They were saying that this was going to get released.
So it's the recreational boating safety strategy for it runs from 2025 to 2030. And there's been some consultation. Late last year to the 5th of January 2024, they received 1,635 respondents online. 27 councils were contacted to gain feedback, and it's now progressing through that, and it's been released. It talks about compliance, and this is I'm not going to run through the whole thing, but 18,110 vessels were checked, of which, guess how many of those vessels, what percentage of vessels were found to be non-compliant?
I'm going to say circa 60 to 70%.
Oh, wow, that's high. 38% were non-compliant.
Oh, right.
I'd still say 4 out of 10 boats are not safe. That's pretty loose.
Yeah, I don't know. Mate, think about when you go out there on a busy day, how many boats get launched that you think, oh, gosh.
You haven't been out in a while.
I wouldn't launch that in my pool.
So the non-compliance issues, the top 5 were failure to carry safety equipment, expired safety equipment, failure to wear or carry life jackets, unregistered vehicles, and speed offences. So it's come up with these sort of priority areas. So safety boating through education, safe boating operation and knowledge, life jacket wear and safety equipment review, safer waterway management, and safer boating through technology. It runs through sort of a lot of these sort of things and what percentage of people that were surveyed sort of supported and opposed all these different parts of the review. So there's a number of actions that they've come through. So there's 7 actions to do with swimming. So particular areas that are only for swimming. It talks about different speed limits through, the night on the Murray, 4 knot speed limit for all powered vessels within 100 metres of all bridges and locks, things like that. And then it talks about personal watercraft. So basically jet skis seem to be the next big thing that's going to be cut down on. It talks about sort of restrictions around where you can use these things and what time of day you can use personal watercraft. So that seems to be one of the things that then goes on about all sorts of digital boating apps, web cameras, all different sorts of things to how they want to make boating safer in the state.
Love it. Well done, Rody. Good little recap. Love that from you. All right, Rody, let's move on now to the another story, which is something that we've covered off I think it was in our SA Angler article, wasn't it, about PFD maintenance?
It is, Diz, and this will be another one that we're going to have to probably sit on a little bit because there was going to be an event that sort of coincided with we're in a tuna comp. So I assume this now will get bumped a week. We'll get bumped a week as well. So Recfish, we're going to run a bit of an event in unison, in conjunction.
Oh yeah, I'll take both those words.
Are either of them right? And that was going to be a life jacket clinic with the Department for Infrastructure and Transport, Diz.
Okay, nice.
So they were going to do a bit of a, what's the word, a how-to event, Diz?
Yeah, a bit of a guide, bit of a step-by-step guide on PFD maintenance.
And it was going to be called the DIT Stay Afloat Clinics. So it was the clinics were going to include an educational presentation and assistance in servicing your current standard life jackets with parts included completely free of charge. So that was going to run at 4 p.m. at the Warina Tuna Slam. It also has actually ran that same clinic last weekend on the 8th and 9th of February at the Dockside Festival in Port Adelaide. So that was a chance for people to learn how to service your life jacket, which we've done, Diz, and it was going to be a non-compliance activity. So it meant that it wasn't like an inspection. You know, you weren't getting judged, anything like that. It was more of a how-to.
Yeah. No, that sounds good. Love that. All right, Rody, another story coming out of, personally, my favourite newspaper, the Yorke Peninsula Country Times. That is that card payments are now the only accepted payment method at Yorke Peninsula boat ramps. Am I correct?
That's certainly how it reads here. It is the Yorke Peninsula Council area will only be going online through the Easy Park phone app. It was launched by the Yorke Peninsula Council in 2022, but I think now they're going fully in on it. There's no longer going to be coin machines. So from July 1.
Yeah. That Easy Park app is actually not that great.
Is it? Maybe I've used it at Robe. I reckon I've got that at Robe.
I've used it in literally in town before, and I didn't find it that great.
Yeah, okay. So that will cop some backlash. I'll guarantee you there's plenty of older people, as we've said before, who don't like this.
Mate, of course it will. There's ones these days where you just walk up to it and you just put in your rego and you pay the money and you're gone. They're way easier than, why should you have to download an app and all this other crap?
Yeah, fair.
No good. We don't like it. Anyway, let's moving right along. This is a very sad story, actually. This is the fisherman that drowned at Browns Beach. Rody, I'm going to pull a date out, but it was 10 days ago. 2
about
days
that.
ago.
Yeah, it was about that.
Horrible story. Unfortunately, it is a beach that has past events at it. There have been people that have
drowned there before.
Been washed off the rocks, etc., etc. It's a bit of a notorious spot, and it certainly brings into question about some of the rules and education that maybe goes into rock fishing. I've noted here that you have put down that there are certain parts of New South Wales and Victoria's coastline where it's mandatory to be wearing life jackets at certain rock fishing.
Yeah, I'm just looking on the
hotspots.
Vic fishing website now, and there's 10 high-risk sites, and they're identified clearly on a map and all that sort of stuff. And if you are fishing on these locations, adults need a level 50 or greater life jacket. Children need a level 100 or greater life jacket, and it must be, well-fitting and all that sort of stuff. And that makes sense, particularly when it's a spot like this where this has happened before.
Yeah.
And they've been judged by the authorities as high risk, the most dangerous places in the state. And realistically, 10 spots across the state isn't a lot. So most people, it wouldn't affect.
Yeah. And look, there'd be enough information now about where people get into strife across our state that you could implement the exact same thing.
Yeah. So that makes sense to me. I know we're not always for more rules and more regulations, but to me, this is a pretty simple fix, potentially.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you're into rock fishing, I think if you're into rock fishing, right, I think most people, where they're really into it, would kind of be like, I'm going to take a common sense approach here and probably put a life jacket on. It tends to be, and maybe I'm speculating here, but this person that drowned maybe wasn't an experienced rock fisherman.
Or potentially an experienced swimmer either. That's the other thing to keep in mind.
Yep. Very sad story. Our thoughts to the loved ones, Rody. Let's move on from that one to what is being described as the shortest fishing season this year. A new world record? A new record.
I like this one, Diz, and I like finishing on something like this, a little bit lighter in nature.
Yeah.
Michigan has just had its shortest ever fishing season. Diz, I don't know whether you've read ahead. Have you read ahead?
No, I haven't read ahead, but can you just talk me a little bit through how this makes a South Australian fishing podcast?
Because it's amazing. Tell me how. So this is Michigan's Black Lake. How long do you reckon they opened the season for? There were 797 people registered to fish on the special sturgeon fishing season.
Yes.
On the Black Lake. It's an annual event. And how long do you think the season ran for?
I have no idea.
17 minutes. That was the whole season.
Wow.
It's a new record, Diz. So they are allowed to fish. These 797 registered anglers can keep fishing until the total allowable catch of 7 sturgeon are landed. And it took them only 17 minutes.
Wow, that's not bad.
So I don't know. They must like have a horn or something because it's not like you can send an email out saying, guys, the season's over. they need like a ranger with a whistle or big flashing light or a flare or something.
Yeah. And I am just reading now. So the previous record was 36 minutes.
Oh, wow.
So
they smashed it, really.
They did smash it. They've actually comfortably halved it.
Do you reckon you get a prize? Like if you were running a local tackle shop, I'd throw in a $100 voucher.
Yeah.
There's only 7 fish.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I would too. And I mean, geez, I hope those 7 fish go a long way.
Oh, and like 797 people for 7. So not many are getting one. Yeah. 1% of people who go actually get a fish.
I can imagine that there'd probably be like just an enormous piss up at the pub after.
It reminds me of that day at Mawson Lakes. Remember some radio competition ran a carp, tagged carp?
It was like a carp. It was like an attempt at the $1 million barrel.
Yeah, it was like $5,000 or something. Yeah. It wasn't a lot. It was about 15 years ago, I reckon, 10 years ago.
But it's still not bad. Not bad. Don't mind it.
But anyway, Diz, that was a little fun one for you.
Yeah, love that. Well done, mate. Brilliant stuff. All right, let's move into the tackle item of the week.
Now it's time for Rhodey and Diz to really show you what it means to have all the gear with a lot of idea as they review a tackle item of the week.
Righto, mate. What have you got for the listeners out there for this week's tackle item of the week?
All right, Diz, what do you do when you got a couple of weeks off work? Look, there's only so much parenting of a newborn a male can do genetically. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. Well, I do. I mean, like, unless the baby's bottle fed, then you could probably put a bit.
So what do you do, Diz? You go to the shops, you do all these odd jobs, don't you? You mow the lawn, I've trimmed my hedge.
You do a few DIYs.
DIY jobs.
Yeah.
What else have I done? I've been into a lot of shops.
Okay.
You know, like you got to go out and get this.
Bit of spending.
Get that. Like all the sort of random things. You do lots of little supermarket runs. And what did I think one day? I thought, geez, this is a good chance. I've always got a bit of a list on my phone of things to do.
Yeah, okay.
And one of those things was to upgrade some of the essential gear in the boat.
Ah.
And I wasn't going to a tackle shop, BCF, Tackle World, sports fishing scene.
Yeah.
Nothing like that. This was a genuine supermarket job, Diz. So
where
what did
are you
I
going?
do?
Like the local IGA or?
Yeah, I just went to the local Foodland, mate. And what did I do? I bought 2 packs of matches.
Okay.
1 lighter.
Yeah.
And 1 roll of toilet paper.
Jeez. Suspicious and very strange checkout.
And what did I do with it all? I sealed it up. I waterproofed it.
Did you vac seal it?
I actually did vac seal 1 of the matches. And the rest of it, Diz, I put in Snaplog bags.
Yes, nice one.
So that's going in that tub at the back of our boat with all that sort of gear, the random stuff that every boat has, and it's going to sit there for a rainy day.
Be ready.
And why do I need that stuff, Diz?
Tell the listeners.
Because you bought that stupid cooker without a lighter on it.
Oh, that cooker really let me down. I don't think I'm ever going to live that down.
Nah, you and Bill fumbling around that cooker was a sight for sore eyes.
Can we blame Bill yet?
Probably a little bit.
Yeah. All right.
But who bought the cooker, really?
Yeah.
So anyway,
his cooker worked fine. That was the most disappointing part.
And it was sitting in the car.
And it was sitting
at the boat ramp.
It was sitting at the ramp.
So that's just a couple more things, Diz, you can add to your box of goodies in your boat. Matches, a lighter, and toilet paper. We didn't actually need toilet paper. We talked a big game about needing toilet paper that day.
Yeah.
When we went to Althorpe's.
Yeah, we did. And I think...
and it was remiss of us not to have any on the boat already.
It was, and I think, look, to be fair, if you're out at sea, you may not necessarily, like, you can kind of do the old natural bidet.
What, by natural, do you mean the deck wash?
Yeah, you can use the deck wash. But it's handy to have if you do pull up at the ramp and camp the night there. You know what I'm saying?
As we did on that occasion.
Yes, good call. All right, Rhodey, nice one, mate. Well played.
Not strictly a fishing tackle item of the week, but I still think it's important to think about those sort of things.
Relevant to the listeners, and that's where we draw the line. Okay, Rhodey, what else have we got?
Dizzy, it is now time to get our guest on the line. Matt Durell, he's from the IkiPik, a great product from WA and also Southwest Skeletal.
Now it's time to get our guest on the line. We'll ask them the all-important 5 questions, then chat all things fishing in SA.
All right, Diz, we are joined on the line from Western Australia, Matt Durell. He's the man behind the IkiPik, and we're going to chat quickly about Southwest Skeletal as well. Matt, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Mate, it's really good to have you here, and we are super keen to get stuck into all things IkiPik and Southwest Skeletal, but we do start off with all of our guests with the 5 questions, so let's whip through those, and let's start by you telling us about your best fish.
Let's go. Oh, mate, this is one I think of a bit, and it plays in my mind because I just don't know which one it is, but because I got a cracking 13.15 kilo snapper.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Last year, after sitting on 980 for a couple of years, I got a 103.
Quick question when you're on that? Is that a massive snapper for WA?
That is a big one. Definitely a big one. Yeah, it's a cracker. Yeah, we do get some big ones. I mean,
obviously the snapper ban's on here for forever, seemingly. But
that's right.
South Australians always think they probably get the biggest snapper around the country, but it's interesting because that's a pretty good size fish.
That is a good fish.
Yeah, we get some really good ones here in Busselton in the bay. We burley up pretty heavy, and the big ones definitely come in.
Beautiful. And you had another one you wanted to talk about as your best fish?
Yeah. Probably the first billfish a couple of years ago was pretty memorable. We had the insult billfish camp out up at Ningaloo, up in
cool.
south of Exmouth. Yeah, and kind of 2-day trek to get up there and drag the little 4.75 Quintrex up there. And day one, a few days before the comp, we get out there and mate gets his first little black on spin, 70 kilo. And then about half an hour later, a little TLD 25 went off.
Oh, wow.
And I got a 200 kilo black after about 3 hours of pain. Yeah.
And is that on your own boat or a mate's boat? Or
that was on my boat. Yeah,
cool.
Just on the little adventure boat.
Beautiful. All right, that's a good start. Now, tell us your favourite thing about fishing.
Oh, mate, just being out there, with the lads, just the freedom of it all. I think just being away from land and it's not even about the fish. A lot of the time, it's just about being out there. It's magic. It's magic.
Yeah, that's a great call. Now, what about your first fishing memory, or how did you get into it, mate?
Yeah, well, come from pretty heavy kind of fishing family. Dad's pretty heavily involved with the Perth Game Fishing Club growing up. So
awesome.
Yeah, used to always be out there with him. Watching him kind of get marlin in. But my first one was just a little herring off the back of the boat over at Rottnest, I think. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, just a little bread and butter species, which I still love to catch.
Very good. It's a great part of the world, Rottnest, isn't it? We went over there a couple of years ago and would have loved to stay and do a bit more fishing.
It is fantastic. It's really nice, especially this time of the year. It's magic.
Now, Matt, tell us your favourite sort of fishing and why.
Probably just trolling. I like just covering caves with some skirts out the back and just waiting for those reels to start singing, mate. That's probably my favourite.
No, very good. Lots of fun, isn't it? Now,
I do love my jigging. I'm getting right into the jigging now, but I think just kicking back and just having all the rods set out the back, full spread. That's where it's at.
Just waiting for them to go nuts. That's always
just
good fun.
Waiting for it to go nuts. Yep.
Now, tell us, Matt, about your funniest fishing story or the one that got away.
Oh, mate, there's been a lot of funny
I love it when
fishing
people start
stories on my
laughing
boat.
before they've told us the story too.
What's that?
I love it when people start laughing before they've told us the story too.
There's been a lot of funny stuff happening on my boat. Some I probably can't talk about, but funniest. We were out once out behind a place called Naturalist Reef, which is about 28 nautical miles off the Cape down here, and we got surrounded by a big pot of orcas. And anyone that knows my little boat, I've got a big snapper up the side of it chasing a giant squid. So we weren't sure whether these orcas were going to go take out the boat. They're having a good look. So we're kind of halfway between laughing our heads off and and freaking out.
Yeah.
Oh, and how close did they get to the boat?
Oh, right next to the boat. Yeah, right next to the boat. Then they disappeared under it and just popped up in the washout.
Oh, and did they sort of hang around for a while, or?
Yeah, just a little bit. Then they just kind of went under, and we just kind of went, oh shit, like what's going to happen now? And then they just popped up about 100 minutes out to the side, and we're just like, oh god,
that's epic. We get them rarely in South Australia. They're a bit more common over there, I think. But have you seen them before that, or that's the only time?
That's the first time I've seen. They are pretty uncommon up here, but they do get them a bit further down. Yeah, there's Bremer Canyon. They're down there. They're pretty hardcore. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's real bucket list sort of stuff. That's a great story.
Absolutely.
Now, Diz, we're going to jump in here real quick. We need to do an MA 15 plus section of funniest fishing story. Yeah. Because the amount of people that similar to you have said, I've got lots of stories, but I can't tell them here. We need to do like a sort of R-rated section one day, Diz.
Yeah, that's right. Share us your story. Yeah. No holds barred. Go your hardest. We love it.
After hours.
Yeah, that's it. Very good.
What happens on the boat stays on the boat.
Yeah, that's true. All right, mate. Now let's get stuck into all things IkiPik. So tell us the story. How'd you get into it? It is a really awesome piece of gear that you've got together there.
It is.
Tell us about it, mate. How did it all start?
It is. Appreciate saying that. It was about 5 years ago. COVID had kicked in. I used to do the whole FIFO thing up north. I was laid off up there. I was fishing a fair bit probably more than often. We were still allowed to fish over here. We go out solo and do a few things like that. Just started thinking about, the fact that most people aren't really brain spiking their fish over here, or if they are, they're using a screwdriver, or they're using a knife, which is pretty unsafe. And then start working on this product, and the IkiPik was born. Yeah.
Beautiful. So can you tell us a bit, it's based on the Ikijime method. Can you tell us a bit about that and what it means and how it's sort of the best practice for looking after your fish?
Yeah, well, I mean, I suppose that the probably the best thing about the Ikijime method is the eating it's definitely, that's a big factor, but I think just dispatching the fish quickly and humanely has to be number one. That's kind of a big thing for me. I'm always trying to care for everything I catch. So, brain spiking and just killing the fish instantly and not letting it suffer, to me, is pretty massive. And obviously, the way it can enhance the flavour of what you're eating and the quality of the fillets is also a big thing.
Beautiful, and you've done a great job at producing the little IkiPik that's available online. So it's just that. It's a little brain spike. It's got a nice yellow handle. I'm just looking here, Diz. We got ours in 2022, so we've had ours on the boat for 3 years.
And it's served us very well. Hasn't skipped the beat, I'd say.
Yep, can't forget about the bottle opener on the side.
Definitely shouldn't have forgot that. That should be the first thing I mentioned.
It's a bottle opener that doubles as a brain spike.
What the hell is this thing on the side? Most people go, what the hell is this thing on the side? I'm like, just get the bottle and you'll see.
Yeah. Oh, good. Now, you've recently done a bit of a collaboration, I suppose, with Tuna Champions. So you've done a whole pack now. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, that's right. So we worked together with Sean Thompson and Sean in India from Tuna Champions, and we got this kit, got this 6-piece Ikijime kit developed, and they've got the 3-piece kit, the Shinkijime kit, and that's on the market now, and that's going great. Yeah.
And so, can you tell us a little bit about the whole sort of process? So you got your brain spike to dispatch the fish, and then a stainless steel corer to expose the spinal cord. Is that right?
That's right. So you've got obviously the main bit is the IkiPik. You get that, you spike your fish, and that's dead. And then you can use if you've got a fish that's big enough, you can use the 2-piece corer that's got a 360-degree beveled blade on it, so you can core out right where you've ikied. Just go in that same angle and core out a section, and that will expose the brain cavity. And then basically you can bleed straight away. A lot of people will bleed straight after brain spiking. You can do it last, but you do want to do it pretty quick. And then you've got the pipping wires. You got 2 pipping wires in the kit. You've got a 140 centimeter 3 millimeter one for the big fish, and a 90 centimeter 2 millimeter one for the small fish.
Beautiful. And the idea of that is you sort of kill the spinal cord and stop the fish from, the muscle from contracting and flicking around and things like that. Is that right?
What's that? Sorry, I just missed that bit.
Sorry. So the idea is that sort of takes out the whole spinal cord and stops any sort of muscle contractions and keeps the fish in best condition. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So when you're running the spinal wire along the cavity, it's killing all the nerves. It's killing all the nerves, and it's gonna stop all that chemical getting released. It's gonna break the fish down.
And it's a bit more sort of not environmentally friendly. It's a bit better for the table than using a rusty wire out of Dizzy's shed, I imagine.
It is absolutely better than that. No, there's don't quote me, but I've heard that if you do the full shinky method, you can keep fillets in the fridge for up to 3 weeks.
Wow.
Before eating, which I find pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing. Isn't it? And the other thing I'm looking at here is the blood knife. So that's the little one that you get in and you slit the artery just behind the fin.
That's right. So that just slices the arterial vein just behind the pectoral
thing that
fin.
I love about that is how small the blade is. And when you see that picture that they show on those Tuna Champions presentations, and it shows just how superficial that main artery is. That's right. It's amazing.
That's right. And I mean, I admit I used to use a knife, back before I had this kit developed, and it's so hard to not go deep. So it's just having a dedicated blood knife that you can just put in, and it only goes in 3 centimeters, just reaches that artery, bleeds out. It's ideal.
And then you go to fillet the fish, and you got a dirty big sort of knife wound in the side of it, don't you?
Exactly.
When you use the old method, obviously.
That's right. And if you go too deep, you're going to spoil the fillets with a lot of blood going in. Yeah.
Good call. It's a fantastic kit, and one that we'd certainly encourage everyone to get their hands on. And speaking of that, mate, tell us where our listeners can do that. Are we best to jump online? Do you stock them in a lot of tackle shops? What's the go, mate?
Yeah, so I always try and encourage people to go to their tackle store. I think that's the first point. If you can't find them there, jump on www.theikipik.com. We've got them there. The IkiPiks are in most tackle stores, hopefully, that you go into. That's probably the best spots to find them.
Beautiful. Massive congratulations on teaming up with Tuna Champions. We love what they do. We love what you're doing, and a big congratulations on that one.
Thank you. Appreciate it. They're such a good crew, and they're such a valuable resource for all information on tuna. Yeah, they do really good work.
All right, now we want to touch on your other little thing you've got on the go here, and it's called Southwest Skeletal. Is that right? It's an Instagram page. You do the endo and exoskeleton articulation. These are really cool looking pieces. Can you tell us about this project?
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, so Southwest Skeletal I kicked off at about the same time, about 5 years ago. So I've had a very busy.
You had a busy year there for a while.
Yeah.
Oh, I've had a busy 5 years. I think I need a bloody holiday. So basically, I do skeletal fish mounts. So people catch their fish, they fillet it, they send me or drop off the skeletons, and they get it back like a nice piece of art. Yeah.
They are absolutely epic. You do such a good job at putting it all back together and making it look really lifelike. And then do you paint them? Is that how it works?
Yeah, so I give them a spray. I'm just a bit different than the competition like that. I like to spray them up, and I like to make them look as lifelike as I can.
And I love how you do, you make the coral trout skeleton look a bit that coral trout colour, and it looks really good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's great. I also do Euro mounts, crustaceans, pets. Yeah. I actually had someone want me to do their cat, so I had to pass on that one.
Yeah. Far out. You would have had some weird queries, I'm sure, about that.
Oh, I get some bizarre stuff.
Yeah. Now, mate, tell us sort of, is this something that's been a bit of a brainchild for a long time? You've obviously got a bit of a passion for art, or you're certainly at least exceptionally skilled in that department because they do look epic. How long's it been going on for? You know, have you done any yourself before you really kicked it off, or?
No, well, it did start off just as a bit of a hobby. You know, I was during COVID, like I said before, I was fishing a lot, and I got a little snapper, a small one, and I put it in the oven hole, and I could kind of see all the flesh melting off this thing, and kind of went, I want to see what makes this tick. So I kind of worked out the really rudimental way back then of getting the flesh off, and kind of build it, put on my personal kind of social media, and it went nuts. And then someone goes, "Oh, how about you do me one?" And then it went absolutely bonkers. And now it's really good.
And are you doing the old put it on an ant's nest and let the ants go to work, or is it a bit more scientific than that?
No, it's a little bit more scientific than that. Yeah, a bit of a chem technique I've developed. Yeah, it's a bit of a top secret.
Very cool. And is that something that we can access from here in Adelaide if me and Diz go out and catch a barrel tuna or something pretty cool?
Absolutely. We get stuff sent from the East Coast all the time. So
wow. So you can. So can you tell us how that works?
Social media. Yeah. So basically, you just gotta fillet them as normal when you catch a fish. Gut it, gill it if you can. Cryovac it if possible. Put it in some garbage bags. Freeze it up. Put it in a foam esky or a normal esky. Heap of frozen water bottles, and post it off express to WA, and hopefully it doesn't take too long to get here.
Oh wow, that's really cool. Hopefully it gets there quick, or else the postman's got a rough job.
Yeah, I have a few. Yeah, I'm on their watch list at the moment, and then some of them are not too happy with me. But I always try and encourage people just as much frozen ice bottles as you can, as many garbage bags as you feel like using, or rather cut more often have it leaking.
Yeah, good call. No, that's epic, mate. Sounds good. And I've also noticed on your page you do a fair bit of apparel and other bits and pieces, so that's really good. How's that going?
Yeah, I've been a bit slack with that, to be honest. I'm gonna kick that off a little bit heavier this year. With a few different ways to kind of have enough of each design and each stock. So hopefully I'll be getting back into that. Got a bit of a hectic couple of months coming up. But after that, hopefully that will be on.
Brilliant, mate. And again, the best way for people to get in touch for Southwest Skeletal is just hit you up on the socials. Is that the go?
Yeah, just my handle on that is at SW Skeletal. So SWSKELETAL is probably the easiest way. Just flick us through a message. Any questions, happy to answer them.
Beautiful, mate. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And you're finding much time for fishing around all these projects. You're down at Bustleton, down that way, beautiful part of the world. You're still getting out and doing a lot of fishing?
Still getting out. Actually heading out tomorrow, getting out to the Fads, trying to chase some dollies and the elusive Southwest Unicorn Marlin. So fingers crossed I'll get one of them. Yeah.
Well, fingers crossed we see something cool pop up on your social media tomorrow.
Oh, mate, I hope so. And maybe might even try and get the Shinky kit into use that on the dolly, hopefully. So see how that turns out, see what the flesh quality is like after that.
Brilliant, mate. We certainly wish you all the best, and thank you very much for giving up your time tonight to have a chat with us over here. It's been very good. Get your hands on the IkiPik. Hit you up for Southwest Skeletal. Thanks for joining, mate. Great to have a chat with you.
Mate, really appreciate it. Thanks heaps for having us on. Cheers.
Good to have Matt on the show. Fantastic product, the IkiPik. Fantastic artwork, Southwest Skeletal, and sounded like a great guy.
Dizzy, I'm impressed that you can send over a frozen styrofoam esky of bones interstate and get something back looking that good. So jump on his website and his Instagram page and have a bit of a look. And the IkiPik, as I said, we've had ours for a number of years. Yep. We use it on tuna. We use it on other fish as well.
Yep.
puts them out of their misery real quick.
Yeah,
and is supposed to be great for the eating quality.
Yeah, good call.
And the pack that he's done with Tuna Champions, firstly, that'd be a big thing for his company to partner up with such a reputable organisation as Tuna Champions. But that would be nice to have on the boat, a real pack of everything to keep those tuna in the best possible condition. So I think we're going to have to put in an order, Diz.
Yep. I agree, mate. You'd be mad not to. So we're definitely going to put an order in. We're going to get around it, and hopefully we can get some videos and get it on the socials for you listeners.
That'd involve us catching a tuna first, wouldn't it?
Truth.
Mind you, we haven't even tried really this year.
Yeah, good call.
All right, that's enough, Diz. Let's get into the fishing report.
Rhodey and Diz have been out on the water to bring you the news about where they're biting. Now it's time for the fishing report.
Right, I'm going to give you something here, mate. Do you want to tell me that Clifty doesn't know where the Metro whiting are?
He's on a heater.
He is on an absolute heater. That guy is an absolute fishing machine. That doesn't surprise me, and I'm going to tell you what. I hope he's bloody well enjoying all the fishing he's getting up to, mate, because a lot of hard work over a lot of years in that brilliant tackle shop of his. He's earned it.
And for how long did you go into that tackle shop and you say, you been fishing much? And he said, I'd love to, but I've been too busy selling you blokes tackle gear.
Yeah, that's right.
So good on him for making the most of it. Did you also see that competition they ran, Diz?
Yes.
And the winner was unable to go. So it was
like an overseas pick your
It
own
was like
adventure.
you pick wherever you want to go and he'll take you fishing.
Yeah.
As he's done with a lot of his staff members.
Yeah.
And the winner was unable to go. I think had some health issues, something along those lines.
Right.
And so they gave him like a cash prize instead. But he's going to do a redraw, and I think that's very soon, maybe this weekend.
Watch that one.
And I think there's a $10,000 prize up. I think part of it was from Shimano, part of it was from Sports Fishing Scene.
Epic.
And everyone who was in that original prize draw for the trip away has gone into that. So that's very generous. They didn't have to do that.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. Love that from them. Great guy all around.
All right, Diz, let's not make this the Sports Fishing Scene Clifty Appreciation Society. Where else are the fish biting?
Mate, the fish. Well, look, let me tell you this. For nothing, there's people that are getting a good feed of blueies, Metro.
Oh, it's probably right in the midst of blue swimmer crabs. You got plenty on the January long weekend, which we did talk about last episode.
Yes, we did. Yellowfin whiting. I've seen some of those guys who do really well on the YouTube channels put up their videos, wandering the flats, getting the poppers out there. They seem to be doing quite well on the yellowfin.
Another good summer species. What about the tuna, Diz?
Tuna, I am hearing that they're getting a little bit thicker over on Yorks, actually, but also plenty of really good catches coming from both Victor and Cape Jarvis launches.
Do you think if we were to go out this weekend, which I don't think we are, I don't think the weather's going to play the game, you'd probably launch at Cape Jarvis?
I think that Cape Jarvis would be the pick. There's been some works going on down there. We've covered that before.
That's
around
right.
The time
You still
frame,
can't
but
launch overnight, can you?
People may get turned off a bit by that. But if you're launching at Waruna, it's still doable to get down past the Cape. But if you're going around from the Cape and heading towards the Pages or KI or something like that, that's a bit more of a trek.
Yeah, so it sounds like that is where a lot of the fish are coming from, Diz, sort of the Pages, KI area, maybe a bit in towards sort of Tunks and that sort of area, which is probably a little bit closer to that sort of region to Cape Jarvis than Victor, but it's not. It is certainly doable from Victor if you're willing to do the miles as well.
Yeah, good call. Good call. You know what I've actually found quite interesting, though, is a lot of people have been reporting that there's been very mixed size fish. Have you seen that?
Yeah, no, that's fair.
That a lot of people have been like, got four. One was 8 kilo, one was 15 kilo.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And
usually when you get onto a bit of a patch of them,
you get 3 or 4 that are all 9 to 10 kilos.
Yeah.
And
I've seen that across some, because I'll tell you what, Wanda Fish, unsurprisingly, has been smashing it.
Yeah, and good reef fish as well.
Yes.
Nanagai, snapper, trevally. Saw plenty of them.
Snapper.
And the fish are coming in Port Lincoln too, the tuna diz.
Yeah, mate, I've heard there's football-size fields of fish out that way. They're thick.
Football-sized fields. Whereabouts are they? Just out of Port Lincoln.
That didn't come off the tongue too well, but I think they get what I mean. But good numbers coming from those parts.
And that's good news with the tuna comp coming up very shortly, Diz. I think they're just about out. Is that right? They're just about full.
Well, I think they're actually full from the 6 to 8 metre category.
And they maybe had like one spot left in the 8 metre plus.
Yep. So they're down. They're doing a great job building the suspense. It's going to be an epic weekend, no doubt about it. Let's hope the weather plays the game. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, I'm probably going to struggle, Diz, but you're still counting up your brownie points.
Yes, I am.
Still hoping to get over there.
I'm banking them all, mate. Banking them all.
You're on full nappy duty every
Full
day.
Nappy duty. Yeah. Do you want me to do that? Yes, no problem.
You want to come and do a couple of Riley's nappies? That might get you a few bonus points.
Nah. I'm good.
Anyway, Diz, that is an epic competition, and hopefully the tuna keep firing between now and the March long weekend over at Port Lincoln.
Yes, let's hope so, Rhodey, and we'll certainly keep the listeners up to date about where all the fish are biting. And we love it when you send us in a bit of your own gossip and your report on the streets and waters. What we do want to mention actually quickly before we move on from this was that shark sighting at Sheoak Flat. Did you see that?
That was actually good footage in crystal
good footage.
clear water, wasn't it?
It was it must have been the hot day, one of the hot days, but it was crystal clear, like you said, absolute glass off. And because it was so hot, apparently they were legitimately talking about jumping in the water like 2 seconds before.
Good size shark.
And then one of them was like, I think the story that I read in the advertiser was that they saw a long neck bottle on the bottom of the ocean. And the guy's actually into home brewing and collecting old bottles. And he was like, I'm going to dive in and get it for you. And then literally as he was like, I've never seen a great white or a shark out on the water. They literally looked and the shark was stalking the boat. So it was a bit of a sliding doors moment.
And we've pretty much swam there before too, Diz.
Well, we have. We've been
whiting fishing.
Well, we've been whiting.
And scallop. We've dived for scallops through there, haven't we?
And it was only 2 meters of water.
Yeah.
So we would have been diving in far more than that.
Yeah.
So yes, it's a timely reminder that when you enter the ocean, there's always that. But beautiful beast, but a big shark.
All right, Diz, let's call that a tackle report, will we?
We will, Rhodey. Well done. Good stuff. What else have we got before we let the listeners go? I think we're just about wrapped.
I think that's just about a wrap, Diz. So make sure you're following us and liking us on Spotify and Apple Music, sending us through your pictures to Facebook and Instagram. Make sure you tag us in all your adventures. If you want to send us in a question or a voice memo, we're always happy with that too, Diz.
Yep, good call. Thanks for tuning in. Follow us on the socials, like you say. Get around it, and we'll speak to you next time.
Rhodey and Diz hope you enjoyed today's episode of All the Gear But No Idea. Keep up to date by liking and sharing us on Facebook and Instagram, and you can subscribe on all the major podcast platforms. Until next time, good luck fishing.